Hold up.
Well, I'm super excited to be hosting you. It looks like Katie's talking in the chat. She says she's super excited about this. I know the craziest thing is this is really cool timing. Lots of people have been asking about the beauty industry. There are two industries that people want to know about the most, and it's ugly industries like plumbers, orthopedic surgeons, all these industries that aren't glamorous. And those are the ones that I think there's a huge market opportunity for. But then there's the beauty industries, and those are the ones that everyone wants. But the reality is it's trickier than we all think. So
Sure.
I would love to just hear a little bit about your business. Anybody have any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. We'll open up conversation for a little bit of a live Q&A towards the end. But what we're going to do, and just so you guys know the format of this, is I like to almost run this through like it's a discovery call. But what I'm going to do is outline a couple of key strategies that I think are going to be really, really helpful. And I'm going to allow all of my students to offer some suggestions and ideas, which is really helpful. So you get this collective idea for what would work really well. So I'm really excited, but if you guys want to share a little bit about your background and kind of how you got to where you are today, that would be amazing.
Sure. So my husband's here in the background. We actually work together, but he's like on the computer as well. So I'm going to be talking to you mainly, but obviously Dan's going to be on it as well. So who am I? So my name's Liz. I am a celebrity hair and makeup artist in the UK. And I've been doing that since I was 19 and I'm now 33. I have 3 young children. So I have a 6-year-old, I have a 3-year-old and a 19-month-old baby as well. We also run a coaching company where we help businesses authentically engage with their audience online using social media strategies. It's called The Free Life with Dan and Liz. And Rachel's had a massive part in our business as well. So it's growing unbelievably. It's only actually been going for about 4 months, hasn't it?
Yeah,
but
March 31st,
sorry, my light's flashing. But it's just kind of exploded. In our background, we came from, we had a really successful network marketing business. And basically, I guess it was a bit of a platform for us. And we created quite a following within that. And we thought, hey, do you know what? We want to go out there and help other people in other ways that we can by creating our own social media kind of like platform, if you like, for small to medium-sized business owners. But I've still been doing my hair and makeup stuff. And I do a lot in the wedding industry. So my niche was really, I moved from London, which is like more, I was like doing fashion, editorials, commercial stuff. I was also acting and modeling myself. And then obviously I fell pregnant by accident. So then we moved to sort of somewhere from London, which is about a 2-3 hour drive. And then I was like, okay, well, what am I going to do now? So obviously then it was like, okay, well, I'm going to go into the wedding world because it's very pretty around here and lots of people get married. So I've had a really successful career within that for the last 7 years, where I also have an agency, a hair and makeup agency, and I outsource work. But we are now going to travel the world with our children. And because I've seen how successfully the other coaching business is done, I'm like, hey, do you know what? I want to be with my family more. I want to be work when I want to work and not work every Saturday and things like that. So, and I also think, I've got so much to offer. I've got a job presenting for QVC as a guest expert in the UK and around Europe. And I have so much like to give, and I really want to help people that are new-ish or maybe just stuck in the industry, and they want to maximize things like how to authentically create with their audience, how to brand themselves, how to take a good picture, how to, really grow their businesses using Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, all of those things, which I'm not an expert in. I'm really good on Facebook, but we have guest experts in our other group, so we can create a community, which we feel we've done really well within our other coaching business. So we can recreate that community, but within the beauty world, having kind of like how-to videos, step-by-step videos, but also just really so people can help each other, and ask questions in a safe space. But also, I think sometimes you can go train to be a makeup artist or train to do this, and then you feel quite unsupported because you're on your own, and then you don't actually know, well, what does even branding myself mean? Like, what do I even do with this? And I just think there's an audience there that's, for me, not untapped, but there's an audience there that I think I could work with. So that's kind of where I want to go.
What it's going to be is, because I know that you guys will get this, it's going to be like SMU crew for makeup artists. That's what Rachel runs. Okay. So it's going to be like very similar type thing in like 10 seconds.
Okay. Sorry.
So one of the things that immediately comes to mind that is part of the reason why you guys did so well in network marketing and why now you're doing so well in this next avenue, there's something that's very magnetic about each of you and you two together. Like everyone watching this, are you guys kind of watching this? You're like, oh, this is magical. Like as she's talking, like this, and I'm not just making this up. I guarantee people would be like, yeah, I totally agree. You're like, I want to hear more. This is really exciting. The way that you present yourself, there's almost a celebrity in it. You know what I mean? It feels very magnetic. And so when you position yourself as an expert in, Danny's laughing over there, but I'm serious. It pulls people in. And so the biggest thought that I have is, so I'm actually former beauty industry. Now I just wear like t-shirts and stuff, but I was in the beauty industry.
That's what I want to
do. You'll be able to do that when you travel the world. This is from India. It says coffee in Hindu.
Cool.
So, the biggest thing I remember is that there were so many talented makeup artists and there was a lack of entrepreneurship in the industry massively. So every person was nervous to go out on their own as a freelancer. It's like, at least in the United States, it's you work for a salon, you work for MAC makeup, you work for, a big department store. There just was no support and no education or resources along what does it look like to be a freelancer or an entrepreneur as a makeup artist.
Yeah, sure.
Well, that was the vision behind it, because we thought, well, most people can be pretty decent at applying makeup to someone, right? Mm-hmm. But nobody understands how to turn that into a business which can earn. Well, I think makeup artists are, they'd be thrilled to be earning like 25 to 50k. But if you can show them how to turn that into a 100k business, and then we can have like an advanced group, so we can show them how to create agencies and. I think there's a lot of potential ups, and one of the things I was thinking is, like with our group, do you want to turn that light off? It's flashing.
Yes, no.
Or is it this one over here?
No, it's this one. No, it's that one. Yeah.
Is that...
sorry, you've got so many lights in this house.
The one thing that we don't have so much in the free life, because it's network marketing, there's not much upsell potential, but there's a ton of upsell potential with what you do. Like we can upsell a website, a funnel, Facebook ads, like a whole thing for you, like somebody's dying.
Yeah,
I'll find them and we'll get them.
No, it's okay.
Like 911.
Please don't die on this live call. That would be really tragic. Really there we go.
So there's a ton of potential just to like upsell a ton of things. Like, we've just spoken to someone who's looking to do some of our social media posting and stuff, haven't we? So like there's just so much that we can bring in.
Yeah, I think
so much.
Yeah. The other thing as well with the beauty industry, so when I was a hairstylist, I worked at one of the top salons in Minnesota. There were 3 top salons. I applied for all of them, and then I got accepted at the one that I deemed was the best. But most stylists and beauty experts in any part of the industry, I feel like you make so much less than you think you're going to make. Mm-hmm. As much as we say, okay, we want to bring them from 25 to 50K a year to 100K, they'd be thrilled to make 50K. I found that one of it was so interesting. These stylists were making $40,000 a year, feeling like they made it. And there was there were 1 or 2, maybe 3 stylists who were making $100,000 a year. And at that point in time, we were like, that is like the jackpot. Like if you're making that much money, you should be a millionaire. And so one thought that I have is these beauty professionals, as much as we want to talk about 100K, that's a little bit like that's elusive. That's a unicorn in their mind. They don't know that that's actually possible. If you could teach them how to consistently bring in 25 to 50K a year by themselves and to have that security of building their own clientele and thing, oh my gosh, they're going to be so receptive. And like Danny said, that's where that upsell of now let's bring you to 100K comes in with a mastermind for beauty experts and professionals.
Yeah.
So the first thing that immediately comes to mind, I'd love to hear anybody who is watching this, feel free to comment in the chat with your very first thoughts. I have several thoughts immediately that come to mind. I want to see if anyone else has any other ideas as to where you would start. One thought I have is that most people who are trying to learn how to become makeup experts are, where are they learning? You know exactly where they're learning, right? They're learning.
They either pay quite a bit of money and they go to, say, London, and they go to, if we're talking UK here, and they train at some fairly highly paid college or establishment or whatever, or they go to their local college, you know, in their small town or that type of thing, or they don't have any qualifications at all.
What were you wearing yesterday?
Hold on. Somebody... Let's find that person. There we go. Okay. So, I remember like the, what are they? They're like, what do they call them? It's not universities. It's, I'm not going to remember what it's called. It's like master classes or master something. Yeah. I don't remember what it's called, but I remember the poll was everyone went to the UK for these trainings, and they're like $2,000 to $6,000. So for most people, that's already not very accessible, right? Most people starting out, it's like, oh, I can't become a master makeup artist until I take this incredible training, advanced trainings. Those usually are what they were called. They're crazy expensive. So what I found most makeup artists were doing was they were immediately hopping over to YouTube and that's tutorial after tutorial. I personally, like, I'm not very good at makeup. I would watch YouTube tutorials from you all day.
Yeah.
Are you doing anything on YouTube yet?
You're the second person today that said that.
Danny the first?
No, I'm not. I have done some videos training for our group for the VIP life, where it's like a paid group and I do modules within that. No, I'm not, but it's something that I need to do. Yeah,
it definitely is. Now, here's the beauty of YouTube. It's not something that is, you guys know what it's like to do the manual legwork of social. You're in your Facebook group all the time answering questions. It's very labor intensive. It's fun. It's lighter, but there's a lot of work that goes into it. YouTube is amazing because when you create a video, you optimize the description, you optimize the links, you optimize everything. And all of a sudden, it like magically brings people into your sphere. You put it up once, you forget it, you can run some ads to it if you want, but you just honestly create the video, put it out there, and then all of a sudden people come to you from it. I had one video like that, and it was amazing to me because I'm familiar as well with the manual legwork of Facebook and there's a lot of work that goes into it that people don't realize. And I put up one video. Unfortunately, I had to take this video down when I rebranded, but this video was up, and almost every week, somebody was saying, I joined because I saw your video on YouTube. And I was like, people are watching these? This is crazy. Yeah. And I honestly think if you were to create like one video a week where you just said, today we're going to talk about how to apply blush perfectly, or how to do, what strobing is, right? Like, this is how to do strobing on a client without it looking too over the top. And you would create at first, I would say a combination between ones for the consumers and ones for makeup artists. Oh my gosh, it would be so powerful. I remember I did one time, and the biggest thing that froze me up was that I kept asking them, how does that look, over and over. I was like, what do you think? Because I was not very confident in my makeup skills. So how to exude confidence while still maintaining that balance of achieving what the client wants. Like, there are so many topics that you could cover. How to whip out makeup for a wedding party. I think that's a huge avenue. I know for a fact makeup artists would love the videos you put out. What do you guys think? Pop it in the chat. What do you think would be a good starting place? That's my gut. YouTube is where you have to be. But YouTube as a standalone isn't enough because you have to, as you know, funnel everybody. Oh, this is fun talk about funnels. You have to move people through a series of decisions because people they're like wandering crowds at the state fair, at least in the United States. They just wander and they're like, I don't have any direction. And what you have to do is you have to say, here's the next step.
Yeah.
Give them the next logical step. And my gut tells me it would be literally creating a Facebook group where the name is so obvious. It's like makeup artists of the world. That sounds so cheesy. Don't use that. But something like become a successful makeup artist. And that sounds so obvious, but there's a reason why Free Life has done well. The Free Life. People are like, I want to know what this free is. Become a social media manager. It's pretty obvious. You come here to become a social media manager. My new group, social media for entrepreneurs and business owners. It's pretty obvious. Nothing's branded, but it brings people in. And then there are several benefits of that. So number one, everyone's really quiet today, by the way. Everyone needs to drink their coffee so that they can answer in the chats because nobody's talking. I'm like, what's going on? So, the biggest thought that I have is that everything should be directing people into something, which I would guess would be a Facebook group. But the beauty of having a name that calls out to every single person that you could possibly lead and teach is that when it shows up in their feed, when they say like, oh, suggested groups. Yeah, I want to join that. I'm a makeup artist. When their friends talk about it, when it's shared somewhere, when you share it in a group for entrepreneurs, it's going to suck the makeup artist right in. And I don't think there's a huge market for it right now. I don't think there's a huge competition in the market for it right now. There's nothing really big in the online education world except for the major players, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. It's so open for you. So are you possibly open to doing YouTube videos?
Yeah. The only reason that I haven't is, and I hate this excuse, but it's having the time.
Yeah.
And I'm a bit of a perfectionist. So like I have to edit everything a million times. And can someone tell me actually, what is a camera that you can buy that like blurs out the background? I bet any camera does it. But I always see these videos of makeup artists like Pixie Woo, or who else, like just various makeup artists, but it's always clean and stuff in the background.
So you can have that with the new iPhone because it's got two cameras, so then you can have like a soft focus background.
I know, but the new iPhone probably doesn't have a very good, clear once it's uploaded.
It's amazing.
It does. It really does. So I record all my videos here. And then I'll show you what my setup is. Okay, so don't laugh. Yeah. My setup is this right here. So I have 2 umbrella lights and a ring light. Yeah. And that makes amazing videos. Like, and I don't do videos that are supposed to be super beautiful. Mine are just like, YouTube tutorials or something on social media. But this ring light right here, I just actually have a piece of Play-Doh, or it's actually clay, and I put my phone in it and it holds it.
I love that. Yeah.
If you come closer, like I have mine back because I'm not trying to let everybody see my pores. I don't put a lot of makeup on. But if you move this closer, that ring light and then the 2 umbrella lights with an iPhone are going to give you amazing quality, like incredible. And I think, do you have a ring light and umbrella lights yet or not yet?
Yeah, we've got a ring light. We've got our ring light, but and we've got another light actually behind.
Okay.
But yeah, somebody's commented on the chat. It's not the camera, but it's the lens that makes the difference. So can anyone recommend any cameras and stuff?
We'll see what people say. I know though that like for my videos, if I just use the ring light, which is what most beauty bloggers I think do, they just use one ring light so that they're the only focus. The background isn't very in focus, especially if it's a pretty dark room. So it's going to be harsh lighting on your face, but that's kind of the point with a beauty tutorial, you're trying to focus on your face. When I do videos, I want people to see the background and not pay as much attention to my face. So the ring light makes a ton of sense. And just put your iPhone, you can either get a stand or you can be really like resourceful like me and use clay and just pop it in there. It works just fine.
We've got it.
That's perfect.
So I need to get in the flow of doing that.
And Liz, you make really cute videos. The one that you did, what was it? It was bloopers where you were like doing your makeup. I think even an imperfect video from you is incredible. You know, like it doesn't have to be perfect, because already like the makeup that you do is so beautiful and perfect that people are going to fall in love with the real flow of things. So that's okay.
I think the thing that had stopped me as well is that I didn't, because I'm trying to take a sidestep away from me physically doing all the makeup jobs out there, because I want to create this online space for people, move on to that next stage of my life, I guess, that I think that I wasn't wanting to create those videos because I wasn't wanting to get more work, you know, and feel like overwhelmed. Because also I have a problem with saying no. I've recently just announced that, and I have cancelled all my work for next year to go away. So I think I can put more focus on now creating stuff like that, and it'll be quite cool because we'll be traveling around to different places as well. So I can do it in Africa or France, or whatever.
Florence.
So
there's one person that I'm definitely going to connect you with, and that is Marley Baird. She is like amazing with YouTube and with creating videos. Did you guys ever happen to see that video that was my intro video? It's super casual, but it's like goofy, and it's got this like really cool hip hop beat. It's like, hold up. And like, it's cooler. It's cooler than my beatboxing. But it's this video of like all these casual frames of me, which is, as you guys know, that's kind of like who I am. It makes sense. I'm not polished videos, but Marley did a great job, and she has these ideas for how business owners can create significant content in 3 days. So she's got this amazing system that you use, and it's a really good way to not procrastinate. And like, I know it's so easy when you're supposed to do something weekly to be like, okay, now it's been 2 weeks. Okay, now it's been 3 weeks. Now I'm behind. Now I'm stressed. But to get everything like knocked out so that then you can hand it on over to an editor and say, make this all beautiful, please. Take out all the bloopers, and then you are able to release that versus sitting there watching yourself and stressing and being like, isn't what I want.
So I'm the one that edits everything. So
you need to be someone else to edit it.
Yeah.
There we go.
100%. So you can just focus on sitting, doing the actual, the meat and potatoes of it. Hand it over, and then when you get it back, it's all set to go. And you're like, thank goodness. I'm not sitting here spending an hour editing a 15-minute video.
And the rest.
Yes, exactly. That is like life-changing. So I think that getting everything batched would be really helpful. And then once you batch record them all, hand them over so that you're done.
Okay.
Because that's probably taking up the majority of your time, the editing.
Yes, and that's what puts me off, I think.
Yep.
So I spend so long on it. Yeah.
But then what I recommend is directing everyone to a Facebook group. And you guys are so great at nurturing people in Facebook groups. I just imagine people being magnetized towards you, whether it's stylists or makeup artists or anyone in the beauty industry who's just like, I just want to make a decent income at this for myself. Tammy says, my daughter's a stylist and a great one too. She wants to venture out on her own because she is one of those stylists that's making less than $40K a year, which by the way is the norm in the United States. I don't know what it's like in the UK. In the United States, most hairstylists are actually pretty broke, which is tough. Like, and by broke, I mean, 30 to 60. It's just that it's a high spend lifestyle. You have to buy nice,
of course.
You know exactly what I'm talking about. And so most of them live paycheck to paycheck or live on their cash tips for the day, which is a really stressful lifestyle. I think that would be super huge. And then she says, what is your best advice for that? Tammy, we'll chat about that later, unless you want to answer it, Liz, but you don't necessarily have to on this, since this is more about you.
No, that's all right. I would say
join our coaching group.
Yeah, join our coaching group.
Here we
go. Yeah. I would say to find her niche, like to definitely find her niche, and then go with that, because once she finds it, then everything will start to fall into place. And find her colors that she wants to work with, find her branding, work with a couple of fonts, a couple of colors, be consistent. If she's wanting to grow it online on social media, which is everything, and by finding your niche, because when I trained to be a makeup artist, I trained to do special effects like period, makeup and hair, prosthetic, everything you can imagine. And I left and I was like, I don't actually know what the hell I'm doing. And it was only because I was stumbled into doing modeling and acting that then I worked with photographers on shoots and things like that, and then that just evolved. But there is easier ways to get into it, and it's like about networking and collaborating, and a lot of people, and it's all about images within the makeup world as well. So one bad image will let you down and people will not want to work with you. So it's all about getting that portfolio, but you don't have to spend the earth. It's about like collaborating with the right people, and putting yourself up there. If she wants to earn more money, like put herself out there. And the only way you can show that is through the way you talk and the images that you put out there.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully that's helpful.
Absolutely. By the way, Leah gives you a suggestion on the right type of camera. Do you see that in the chat? It's the light is very important indeed. Maybe try a lens like a 50 millimeter, not too crazy expensive, and open it. I don't know what any of these words mean. To a very small aperture. Yep. And make sure the focus is on you, and it should give a beautiful feel to your video. That's super helpful. Thanks, Leah.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. Now, Will had a suggestion, and this is kind of funny because it all plays into kind of what I was thinking. He said Facebook ads and videos. So if you're taking the time to create these videos, which I know that's like the hardest part of it all, right? Is, okay, I have to make sure my hair looks good, my makeup looks good, my kids are quiet, that the lighting is right, like easier said than done. But if you're creating these videos and you're taking the time to do it, what if you were also to upload those videos as ads, and what you put in the copy of that ad was makeup artists get the complete guide so you can recreate this look on your clients. Just comment guide below. And then when they comment guide, it's connected to a messenger bot where all of a sudden they're all getting the guide and you now have them on messenger bot. Or you could say comment guide below and I'll get you the freebie. And then, you know, you comment the link to the opt-in. So now you're building the email list too. On the page of the opt-in, there's the ability for them to join your Facebook group. And now you just got a twofer. You got their email and you got them in your group. So I imagine you repurposing those videos and using them for Facebook ads, because my gut tells me your audience is going to be very receptive to them.
Okay.
Yep. Danny's laughing. Has he been saying something similar to this in general? I was like, that is the look of an I told you so. That's amazing. So are you open to starting a Facebook group? I know it's a whole nother thing for you to take on, but I think you're so warm and people respond very well to you. Are you open to that for the beauty industry?
Yes, I am. What are you going to say?
I thought you was going to say no, to be honest.
Why?
Because you don't like running groups.
No. The only thing is, I'm a little bit, I would say I'm not as consistent as Danny. And that holds me back a little bit, because I feel like I want to be present with my children while they're young. And I don't, and I'm like glittery ball syndrome. So if I get something on my phone or whatever, I'm like, and then, like, you know, my youngest is electrocuting herself, but not literally, but you know what I mean.
You're not the only one.
And I just feel like I worry, if I'm honest, because I really want it to be the best it can be.
Yes.
We thought that you'd find it a challenge to build that community. and to be on top, because like, you know what it's like, Rachel, like it's really hard, like to be alpha in a community, like all the time on it, running it, managing it, pushing it. So our initial thoughts were, although like we're super open to like stuff, but we thought with more page, like the free life and the VIP life is massively about us.
Yeah.
Whereas this, we didn't really want it to be about us. It was like, look, kind of plonk into this thing, learn it. So we're kind of removed from a little bit more, which is why I was thinking more kind of via a page and funnels and whatever.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
So it would be obviously me, because people would want to see who's behind it and all of the rest of it. We thought about to something like Beauty and the Beast or whatever, like just something funny. But I don't know if you could even do that with copyright. But yeah, so giving value, giving content, and doing like weekly webinars like we do in the VIP life and stuff. Well, twice a week with VIP. But yeah, I just worry about consistency and where it's going, because I don't want to like do all these videos and then be like, what am I doing it for?
The one thing that we could do though is if we did do a group, is that you could use that as a way to direct people via an agency as well.
Yeah, because I have an agency as well. So
maybe just don't quite run it like the free life, which is very much value all the time. Obviously have some, but just more informational purposes in terms of like, here's something that can like be a business, here's a lead for you. I don't know. So you did that in the SMU crew, right? Like you had in the university. Like I've got this social media job. Like who's interested?
It's huge. People love that, because let's say let's say a client that I work with is, you know, a little higher ticket, and I get a lead that's $500 a month. It doesn't make sense for me to take on that lead anymore. But if I put that in the group, there's 10, 15 people within an hour who are like, oh, I want that. That's an amazing opportunity to me. So you can always use that for overflow. But here's one of the biggest thoughts I have, and this is going to trickle over to the free life, the VIP life, and to this the beauty side of things as well. You guys need some relief because you're doing it all yourselves right now. And when I brought in a team of community managers, it like saved my sanity. So
we've actually just brought in a community manager.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah.
For free and for VIP?
Say that again.
Which ones? For free or VIP or both?
Both.
Okay. Oh, you're going to love it.
So we're starting, we're trying to, because we just work. Not because we don't enjoy the work. The problem is we enjoy it too much. So, we just work. So we're like trying to like get more people involved. So we definitely like focusing on building a team. Definitely.
Definitely. And the other thought is, what if from the very beginning of the beauty side of things, you position yourself as the celebrity expert, because you're not coming in at ground level and trying to build something with no name. Like you've got a name and incredible credentials. Whereas like with the free life and the VIP life, you guys are doing it all built on relationships. And I think relationships are important, but the value over here is like, hey, this is a way to instantly start to book something, or this is the way to generate a revenue. And it's faster, I think, in a way, like someone can implement something and instantly have a result. So my thought would be, what if you brought in a community manager from the very beginning who spurs on conversation, keeps everything going, and you're the guru on the mountaintop, so you don't come in as often. It's like you come in once a week to talk.
Yeah.
That needs to be done.
That's a good idea.
Save yourself the time. You don't have to.
That's what I'm struggling with. It feels a bit overwhelming at the moment, because I think I know it can work. I know it can.
Yep.
But it just feels a bit overwhelming at the moment. But yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah. You don't have to be the one who's always carrying it on. And what if you were to get a community manager who had experience in the beauty industry, so that they were able to answer questions that are beauty industry specific? You know, it's not that I would do it, but like I have beauty industry experience. So there are other people who have worked in the beauty industry who could answer, you know, like what is the right shadow for a concave? I can't think of the words. It's been too long. But
or whatever. Yeah.
What is the right highlighter for fair to medium skin tones? Or, that person's going to be the relief a little bit. And then you come in with the more advanced stuff. Like, hey guys, this is how you do an entire lineup for a wedding and make $1,000 in a day, or something like that, and that would keep me going. Do you know what I mean? I'd be like, this is amazing, once a week. And if that's what you start from the very beginning, that's what you can maintain. The free life, the VIP life, you guys have set a tone of being there all the time. Same with SMU. I set the tone being there all the time. Not that it's bad. We all love what we do. We love our people.
Yeah.
As you know, then that expectation is always there.
Yeah.
It's hard to pull back. So if you start it from the very beginning, I come in once a week. I do a quick, Q&A live Facebook video. And then down the road, when you open the paid version, then it's like, okay, now I come in once a month into the free group. And in the meantime, we've got community managers who can answer your questions. If you want a part of our advanced trainings, you join the academy. That's what it's called. Academies. Academies are the makeup training.
If you want to get more direct access to Liz, then
would you recommend then still doing the free group, a free group onto a paid group, or not?
Absolutely. I love free groups, and everyone's like either shutting them down or opening them right now. The free group is the first step in an invisible funnel. That is the first access point that somebody has to you. But if you go straight to the paid and you don't have a warm-up process, basically it's like someone trying to sell to you when you're walking through a mall. Those guys in the little kiosks, and they're like, hey, buy this lotion. And I'm like, I don't know you and I don't know anything about the product. Not going to happen. Whereas when you go into a department store, they're like, would you like to try this? And they just kind of like suck you in through that little bit of a warm-up process. And then all of a sudden you're happy to shell out $80 for a lotion because it was warmed up. That's why I love free groups. I think free groups show, here's what I stand for, here's what my quality is, here's the vibe that I attract, and it allows people to fall in love with something that's worthy of paying for.
Okay.
We could do that with a community manager.
Yeah, I already have a group, but it's like a job board almost, like for makeup artists. But I'm wondering, it's only got like 350 people in it because it's literally just makeup artists and hairstylists.
You could relaunch that.
But I'm wondering whether I could relaunch that and rebrand that a little bit and have it open, like an open group, and then people can, warm up the existing people, post job. Would you still post jobs in there? I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's a reason for people to be in
post
there.
jobs in there still, and then upsell.
Absolutely. I think one of the big things needs to be as well, though, like separating, like when farmers separate the high quality wheat from something else. Someone's going to be watching this and be like, Rachel, how do you not know these words? Like Krista's going to be watching or something. But there's the wheat that falls to the bottom of the lake, and then there's the wheat that floats, and the wheat that floats isn't as good. You can put the lighter opportunities, like build your portfolio with this in the free group, and you can be like, we have our better paying opportunities in our paid group.
Because there's some quite well paid work actually that I put in that group.
But when you have this, you can actually start going to agencies saying, look, I've got 5,000 makeup artists in my group, or I've got these really good people. You can actually go and actively get jobs in.
And sometimes it can be as simple as connecting with like someone via the internet and just say, hey, I'm looking for jobs for my people. They're great. They've been trained in by me. I'd love to provide for you an entire directory.
Make an agency.
Yeah. It's so valuable to everyone involved.
That's smart.
Yeah, I love that.
Hey, SMU crew. You guys are so quiet this morning. You could tell it's a Monday.
What time is it where you are?
It's 11:42.
Okay.
And I just want to show you guys, this is just kind of funny what today looks like. I made a mistake and I opened my calendar to call 8,000 people on my email list to book 30-minute calls. And I'm like, you know what? Let's just go with it. But this is like what every single day looks like. Those are all 30-minute appointments throughout the entire day. And I'm like, you know what? We're just going to have fun. Like, but everyone's very quiet. I want to hear what recommendations you guys have if you're up and ready and moving. And if you have any ideas or thoughts, drop it in the chat. But so far, I feel like this kind of makes sense. There's at least I can see a pretty clear plan of action. And honestly, I don't think it's a very long path to monetization. You know how normally we spend forever building everything before we monetize? I think it's actually going to be a pretty fast process for you.
Okay.
It makes sense.
And do you think, like you were saying you can apply it to makeup artists, stylists, photographers, whatever. Mm-hmm. Do I keep my branding and my niche as makeup, or do I widen it to appeal to those people as well?
Start with makeup, because when you start out, as I say, like niched, and when you start out niched, it's easier to expand from there. And you guys also, this might be helpful for the VIP life too. When I focused SMU on everybody, and I was like, everybody can benefit from SMU, business owners, this, it really struggled. Like my message wasn't hitting home. The second I niched it down to social media managers, I still attracted some business owners, but right now I'm focusing on social media managers. Within the next year, it'll expand to entrepreneurs and business owners too. Mm-hmm. So even with the VIP life, start with network marketing and then expand into all business owners. You know, as you've developed this reputation, it's so much easier to expand once you get that solid base in your niche. Like Ray Higdon's done that very well. Ray Higdon, he coaches people who are non-network marketing. He's in the inner circle now too. We have a call this week. He's pretty cool. I don't know that much about him, but we'll find out. So yeah, what do you think?
So you would recommend, because we have a page, like for my hair and makeup, which I'm rebranding, to market target more towards this now. So we have that, and we have a group. So maybe relaunch them. Mm-hmm. And then create the paid group.
Yeah.
And I already have like about 15 webinars that I've been doing in the VIP live that is applicable to videos.
We just need to turn it on.
Which basically I can already put in that group.
Wow.
Which are cool videos, like really good videos. It's just I haven't got anything out there in the public domain.
And then to create urgency to get people to move in, create like little tiers. This is what I would do, and this is what I did for SMU. Be like, for 1 week only, the very first people, you are the founding members, you get a special deal. It's $30 a month. You're grandfathered in. 1 week only.
Got you.
The next week, or for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, then you say, okay, now it's $50 a month. Get in now before it goes up to $70. And I think ideally the price point ends up at $100 because you want less people who are more dedicated. Sometimes it makes sense to stay at like $50 because it's affordable. Most people can do it. But as you guys know, $100 means you get less, but you also get more in a way.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was what I was going to say. How much would you charge for this sort of thing? Because we have an idea, but it'd be interesting to know what everybody thinks, really, what they would pay for something like this.
What do you guys think it's worth? Knowing that SMU is $50 a month, which is super, super, super affordable. It is going up to $100 a month in the next 4 weeks, which is a whole nother story. But what do you guys think it's worth? Drop it in the chat. Everyone's so quiet. Go, go, go. What do you think you would pay for that? My personal gut feeling is that if you had it at $50 a month, most people would say, yeah, I don't have to think too hard about that. I paid $50 a week for coffee or whatever it is. 100 would get you the people who are very serious about advancing their careers as hairstylists. David says lifetime price $997.
Yeah.
And the other beauty too is as you run a membership, and I haven't told you guys about this for the VIP life. Have you checked out Bear Metrics yet? No. Oh my gosh, it is so addicting. It straight up, you plug it into your Stripe and you can see all of the metrics. You can see the lifetime value of everyone, how long they stay, day to day. You can see your retention and your churn and what introducing a $1 trial does, what your retention from the $1 trial is. So that's called Bear Metrics. It's amazing. And the reason that that's so valuable is once you know the lifetime value of your people, you can introduce a lifetime price because you already know that most people leave before that and now they're in for life, and you just made more than what the lifetime value is of a person. And now you're able to deliver value for life. Jocelyn says there's so much value, but most likely around 97 or 197 a month. That's amazing. Yep. What else, guys? What other price points do you think make sense? We'll see if we get a couple more answers. And then as soon as we do, I want to hear what you guys were thinking. But Baremetrics is super helpful for memberships because once you know what the lifetime value of each member is. Oh, Krista's a really good one as well because she owns a boutique. So she's very familiar with the fashion industry. And she's saying 97. I think 97 is my gut instinct, but offer like founding members $50 for 1 month only. And then you get that warm up period. What were you guys thinking?
Probably about 75, 80 quid.
Okay.
I think.
75, 80?
Pounds, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think 97 makes so much sense. Megan says at 99 per month, you will have a highly engaged and serious client or lead. The other beauty is too, as you start to implement more of your one-on-one mentorship and mastermind, which you want to do because it's fun, you get to connect with people deeper. People who are paying 99 are more likely to be able to go on to that point where you're charging $1,000 a month for intense mentorship, where you bring them to the $100,000 annual price point. Okay. David says he's super stylish, which makes him qualified to pick the price. Oh, that's awesome. But I was going to say, so when you're able to see your lifetime value, you can more easily determine what you're willing to pay to acquire a person into your membership. And that was cool for me because I used to be scared to pay, let's say, $30 per member. I was like, I can't pay $30 per member, not into a $1 trial. But when I broke down all the metrics with the retention from the $1 trial, I was like, oh, let's scale this puppy. And you guys will do the exact same thing. $1 trial too, by the way, amazing. I am a huge fan of it. I have had nothing but incredible experience from implementing a $1 trial. This might apply to both sides of your business. And here's why. In 1 week, people can decide, is this a good fit or is this not my people? And so almost like a two benefit thing. Number one, you get them in, right? And then you can hook them in because you've got great content and great engaging community. But also you get to get rid of the people that don't fit. You know, when someone joins your membership and you're like, oh, no, like this is not a good fit. Just say, you know, like, here, we've refunded your $1. It's not a good fit. Go on with your week. It's just not, you're not a part of what we do. It doesn't mesh. So that's kind of nice. It's two-prong benefit. Let's see. Krista said, like Rachel.
Yeah.
What was that?
I was just saying, do you know how that works, the $1 thing?
It's just like a 7-day trial. We pay $1, and after $1, then there'll be charged on their card for the full price.
Oh, okay, right, yeah.
I love it. Yeah. And at first I was nervous about it before I got Baremetrics because I was like, I'm guessing what my retention is off the $1 trial. And you kind of are at first. But with Baremetrics, I was like, oh, I can see what the retention is. And it averages between 54 and 71% after the $1 trial, which is phenomenal because it's way easier to get somebody in at $1 and then have at least a 50% chance that they're going to stay. Amazing. Krista said, if you start lower, you can always raise up. If you start high, people will not be happy if you bring the price down. So you could always start at 50 for the grandfathered in price for all those people who have been a part of the group for a while. You could then raise it to 75. And then the long-term plan could be 97. Once you're like, okay, my free group is growing. There's an active and engaged, audience. I've got my YouTube videos rolling, all of that. Megan says the $1 trial is a win-win for you and your membership. Megan is on my team, so she knows it's a very good thing. Tammy says, I also think when the price is a little higher, those that pay are more serious to participate in the membership as opposed to charging $25 a month. Oh, absolutely. So much more value at $97. The people you attract at $25, you guys already know this, it doesn't make sense. because it's just.
Well, this is one of the things putting us up with having a free coaching group, because we thought you can attract people who are negative, aggressive, moan, complain. Like, ugh, we don't really want that. With the VIP life, like we charge £95, which is like, I don't know, $120, $130. I think it might be interesting to charge a dollar price. I think we're going to have to do that anyway for VAT purposes. So I think we should maybe just do that.
Okay, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Well, since I'm building out your guys' sales page, we still have a lot to do. But as I'm building out the sales page, you can build in the $1 trial with the order bump. I'll show you guys how to do it because it's really complicated. When I actually worked with ClickFunnels at Funnel Hacking Live, they were trying to build it out and they couldn't figure it out. And then I just stayed up all night that night and got it figured out. I was like, I'm not going to stop till I figure out this $1 trial. And then I got it. So I know how to do it now. Were there any other comments in the chat? I don't think so, but it sounds like everyone says 97 is a great value. So that should be the ending, not the ending point, but like, I think that's a pretty good second or third tier once you build out the initial membership group. What do you think?
Yeah.
Well, we was going to go at 47, wasn't we?
Pounds. Yeah.
Which is lower, obviously, but I think it makes sense to go $97.
Let me see if we have anyone from the UK in here right now.
Oh, Honey's going to get the kids.
Yeah, I know.
Actually, we don't have most of our UK people in here right now. We might have a couple. I was going to ask you guys, is there a reason you charge in pounds over dollars? Because I think most people are conditioned to do the conversion from US dollars. I don't know if most people are conditioned to do the conversion from pounds. Comment in that, because I know that the United States market is like wide open for this right now. I don't know if you want to focus on the US market.
Oh no, anywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Comment in the chat, you guys. When it comes to pounds, I know that this is true for like me. If you see a price in pounds, do you shut the window? Because I know I do, because I'm like, oh, I don't know what that translation is. That the yeses start coming in. The second I see pounds, I don't take the time to convert it. Whereas Canada, Australia, the UK, I think, I think the US dollar is more universal.
Okay. Yeah, good. Maybe I'll do that then.
Yep.
It's something that we haven't even thought about we do have quite a lot of people in the VIP life that are from the US and Canada.
What about the price point?
No, about having it advertised in dollars instead of pounds.
It's just because Moon Park set up in pounds.
Oh, okay.
Because what?
It didn't have the option. So, I think
it didn't have the dollar option when we set up our account thing.
Oh, we can do it in Stripe then.
Yeah.
Will make it pretty easy. So look at this, you guys. I asked if people like shut the window when it's in pounds. Yes, I do. I'm in Canada and I always assume it's US dollars. Kim says USA dollars is more universal. And I agree with that as well. I found that most people know the conversion fast. I have no idea what the conversion is, pounds to US dollars. All right.
See you. Bye, Rachel. Speak soon.
Bye. I'll see you soon. I'll see you in Slack later today. So I was going to ask, what other questions do you have? What I'm going to do from this is I'm going to outline everything into a strategy, and I'll share it as long as this is okay with you. I'll share that strategy with the group to see if they have any comments, but then I'll also share it with you once I see everybody's comments. Is that okay?
Yeah, I'd love to know, it doesn't have to be said now, but I'd love to know what people would love to see from a community or group like this. So what would they consider to be valuable content, which I have an idea, but it's always good to know from other people's why they would plug into something like this. Like, why would you want to be part of that sort of thing?
My instant thought is that nobody knows the challenges and the struggles that makeup artists go through. It's all very not superficial, but I think that there's a lot of pressure in the beauty industry to pretend like you have everything together. And since a lot of stylists and makeup artists are very catty with each other in person, it's hard to feel like you can ask questions without being made to feel stupid.
Yeah.
I personally, when I was a hairstylist, I absolutely would have paid just for a community alone.
Yeah.
Because my salon was in the community.
I would love to touch on, like, so I've trained to do like the mindset side of things, but I would love to like touch on that, because yeah, you can get your invoicing right and this and your picture's looking great, but if your mindset is all over the place, then you're not going to get the work anyway, because you're just going to be attracting that negative energy.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I want it to encompass as well, so people feel good about themselves.
So here's one interesting thing, and you guys can tell me if you agree with this. I never mentioned that we're going to go into mindset stuff with SMU. I just talk about the immediate external pain points. Because let's say, for example, we'll just use the fitness industry. Everybody says, I want to lose weight because I don't feel good. I feel fat, whatever it is, right? And the reality is you have to address like deep things, like why are you eating? What makes you insecure? What is it what's the trigger that's causing you to reach for potato chips instead of potatoes? It's like, it's all mindset. And I kind of think everything is, but what you have to talk about is like, here's how you invoice to look like a professional. But then once you get them in, you talk about mindset. Wouldn't you guys agree? I talk a lot about mindset in SMU, but I didn't necessarily advertise it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody wants to come in for the mindset, but everybody needs the mindset. They all do.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Yep. And then you're going to blow their minds when you're like, let's go on our live call, guys. Today we're talking about why you're not attracting great clients. And they're going to be like, oh, that blew my mind. So
Sure.
What do you guys think? We are out of time because it is 12 and I'm on to my next call. Actually, it's 15, so we can wrap up. We can wrap up in the next couple. I personally feel like this is an incredible opportunity. What do you guys think? I think this is amazing for Liz. I think she's going to do really well in it, especially with a clear game plan from the very beginning. Yeah.
It's been a long time of me thinking about it, but yeah, I would love to know if people think it would be successful or not. And if they think it's a good idea, I do, but
Isn't Liz magnetic? Like the way that she talks, like, doesn't it make you want to listen? That's how I feel when I hear you guys talk. You and Danny, you both have that weird like celebrity factor, which is why people were drawn to you in network marketing. It's why people are drawn to you in the VIP life. Like people want to be your friends in a good way. They want
to. Well, not if you wake up with Danny every morning. No, I'm joking.
Yes, I love the beautiful accent. I would listen. There's so many great things being said, and it's not fluff. I don't ever say something's great if I don't think it is. I'll be totally honest. Honestly, this is going to do very, very well. It's just a matter of putting the strategy into place. And what I'll do is I'll outline it all for you, and I'll actually drop it in our Slack channel later today. Once I get caught up on the VIP life, we've got a lot of funnels to build out.
Yeah, that'd be great. I think the main thing is just needing maybe to outsource from the start as well, because it becomes a bit overwhelming. But I'm excited to get started.
Definitely. And if you want me to find someone who has experience in the beauty industry who's a community manager, just hit me up and I'll find you someone amazing.
I would love that. So that would be amazing. Thanks for all your nice comments. Honestly, this is great. Beautiful accent. That's only because you don't live here. Thank you.
I love that. So many good things, and my people are honest. Like we all know that this is going to be something that should go so well. Like Megan said, this should do very, very well. It's just a matter of setting it up right from the beginning so you don't run out, because you're the VIP. Like you have to make sure that your time and your sanity is protected from the very beginning, because it's so easy to spend 100 hours a week in a Facebook group. It's crazy. So,
cool. Yeah. Thank you so much for your time, Rachel.
Thank you, Liz. I'm so excited we finally got to meet face to face too.
I know.
Excellent. All right. Well, I will send you everything. I'll outline it all for you. And then but before I send it to you, I'm going to see if there are any other comments from everyone who watches the replay as the day goes on. And then I'll send it to you late tonight. So,
okay.
Perfect. Great. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
See you all later.
Bye.